On a lot of food products, you'll see the requirements of an average serve. In the media and provided to us by the government, there are recommendations to how many serves we should have of fruit and vegetables or meats. You may have even seen that wheel that has the dairy, meat, grains, fruits and vegetables, and other foods on it. But how much is a serve? And how do you know that you're getting enough in every meal? Welcome back, sentient beings, to another episode of Basic Batches. This is all dictated to us, quite rightly with scientific backing, by the CSIRO, or Commonwealth Scientific Industrial Research Organisation. And I got that one right. It's only taken 3 goes to do. They have laid out for us what our recommended daily servings and daily requirements of particular items are. So, what we have down here is a collection of just common Australian foodstuffs. We have some Nippy's pineapple crush, delicious, an apple, and some mixed veggies here, some frozen mixed vegetables, which I use and have no shame in using. These will represent our fruit and vegetable groups. We have some dairy here with the Philadelphia cream cheese. We have some eggs to represent eggs, strangely enough. Some Pringles and some Timothy tambourines to represent the sweets or discretionary parts as well. So let's look into what actually constitutes a serving size and whether you're the kind of person who would have a serving size of this stuff. In Australia, the recommended intake is around about 8,700 kilojoules. And that's quite a bit. It's recommended as an average because, you know, some people are taller, some people are shorter, some people have quicker metabolisms, and some people don't. I know a young person who is required to eat high-calorie foods just to maintain weight. So let's look at what's required per person per day to give us around about that 8,700 kilojoules per day thing. For an average person under the age of 50, well, adult at least under the age of 50, you're looking at around about 6 serves of vegetables. What's a serve of vegetables look like? I'm glad you asked. One standard serve of vegetables is about 75 grams. That with my frozen veggies right there. You have 6 of them, and you are hunky-dory, ready to go. Of course, if you're the sort of person who likes to just snack on carrots and celery and things like that, then absolutely do that as well. You can never have too many vegetables. Ultimately, that's the good stuff. Doesn't matter if you go a little bit higher than what you're required to. Doesn't matter if you go a lot higher than you're required to. As long as you're burning that excess energy, then that's absolutely fine. For fruit and vegetables, you're required to have around about 2 serves per day. In Australia we're saying. That can be 1 apple and 1 bottle of fruit juice. None of this added sugar stuff, and to be honest with you, fruit juice isn't recommended, but, I mean, there's a serving size here of 500 mils, and that should give a regular person enough nutrients to get through a day. Like with vegetables, it's not terrible if you go over, but unlike vegetables, because of the fructose in fruits generally, if you're having too much of it, that can lead to a little bit of weight gain as well. So bear that in mind a little bit more than the vegetables thing. I'm personally much more of a vegetable eater than I am a fruit eater. As long as we're getting enough, then that will be absolutely fine. I want to quickly touch on grains, so like breads and cereals and pastas and stuff like that. I'm not doing a way out of that because, let's face it, you're going to eat as much as you want anyway. It's deliciousness carbs. My recommendations though, you don't have to go full hippie and do everything wholemeal or buckwheat, but I would definitely recommend that you do brown rice over white rice just because you get more nutrients out of it. And it takes, twice as long to cook, but it tastes just as good. And you get a lovely nutty texture as well. So yeah, no regrets for me changing from white rice to brown rice, even though I have still got a white rice container over there, which I still use for things like risottos, because brown rice risotto just doesn't come out as creamy. So for things like eggs and poultry and lean meats, they recommend around about 3 serves. Now, if you're wondering what a serve of eggs is, it's delicious, that's what it is, but it's actually 2 eggs. So there we go, 2 eggs in the bowl there. I've just bought some eggs, as you saw earlier, of course. I just bought some eggs so that I can practice the tamagoyaki, the Japanese omelette sort of thing, where they curl it on itself and it's just this lovely, fluffy, deliciousness block. And hopefully I'll get practicing on that this week and absolutely nail it eventually. We'll see what happens. For something like dairy, well, this is where things start to get a little bit complicated. They recommend about 2.5 serves. And this is 25 grams. This is a single serve of dairy. That is so little. 2.5 serves of this per day. If you're a cheese lover like me, you go absolutely OTT for cheese and on cheese, and it is incredible. So I am clearly over a week overdoing the dairy because I just smashed that much cheese on the weekend. That would also explain why I lose all this weight during the week, get down to a healthy body shape and size, and then on the weekend kind of balloon back out again because I'm just consuming all the wrong stuff. The last thing I want to touch on is the discretionary foods, or to be honest, junk foods. Now, I do not follow the regulations at all, and I really should, but now that I've done this research, I realize that I've not followed it at all. I mean, I find it disingenuous, I guess, the kind of packaging that we put around discretionary foods, because it does encourage us to eat a lot more than we really should be eating. But ultimately that comes down to the discussion of, should we be a nanny state or should we let people make up their own minds? I think with nutritional data information, we at least give people the opportunity to make their own mind up, as well as giving them facts. So I'm very much in favour of nutritional data with similar, maybe better packaging around it to encourage us to eat less. But this, sentient beings, this is a single serve of all of the Pringles that you could eat in a day while still maintaining a healthy diet and lifestyle. That is nothing. That is like one mouthful for me. I feel like the Cookie Monster right now. That is just, that's so minuscule. And to make it even worse, my Tim Tams, that's a single serve. That is a serve of Tim Tams. I destroy whole boxes of Tim Tams. That's nonsense. And they sell them in packs of 9 or 10. So how am I not going to eat the whole box? Actually, on that point, could you tell me, sentient beings, whether you're a Tim Tam in the fridge or a Tim Tam in the cupboard kind of person? I'm definitely a Tim Tam in the fridge kind of person, just because I love the texture and the coldness that gets all in and around my face. But a lot of people prefer that room temperature Tim Tam. It's designed to be shelf stable, so you may as well leave it at room temperature. But I love having a cold Tim Tam. Cold Tim Tam, hot tea, deliciousness everywhere. So, yeah, I hope that's been really informative and really interesting to you to see what the requirements are in Australia for a day's worth of eating. And I hope you found it a little bit informative as well as to what actually constitutes a serving size. Of course, it's going to be different for different countries, and it's different even across people because everybody's a little bit different. But on average, that is pretty much what's required for intake. And it's something that I'm going to have to bear in mind in the future when I'm doing recipes for basic batches. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time, hopefully sometime soon.